Hi, I'm ONUABUCHI OGONNA, and I just graduated from University of Nigeria, Enugu campus. Who motivated me? My parents, my mommy. She said I should not be an artist. That I should look for a career course. And then I found myself in architecture. For me, before, when I first heard about the whole architecture thing, I was like, instead of drawing flowers and all fine things, like all them. Like, I mean, I'm a girl, so what I was drawing then was just, and I was like, oh, so I'll leave all these things and then start drawing buildings, just buildings. So that's what I thought they were doing, just drawing buildings. But now, I feel like an architect is a pro DIY person, because give them anything, they'll turn it to something very nice. That is what I learned. Let's be realistic. The skill that I learned, basically just knowing how to, the same DIY thing. Yes, I learned how to improvise a lot from school. Because, I mean, that's how I survived. Things are so expensive. That's the only way I could cut costs. I mean, cutting costs is so part of what architects do. So yeah, DIY is what I learned from school. Anyways, I don't know. I don't want to seem anyhow, but I'm very honest. I don't have any course that I hate. Reasons being because, I mean, I started like realizing the whole architecture thing from like second year to like third year. Then after internship, everything just boosted, and I was like, okay, I understand my ground. So I have this thing that if I don't like the lecturer, I cannot like the course. So I try so much to like all of them so that I will not feel it. Also, with the way architecture in my school, the way they arranged everything, every course still falls back to design. Anything you learn in any course, you see you need it in your design. So it was just like every course was talking about a particular segment in design. So it wasn't really any course that maybe I'll say I hate is probably the lecturer that caused it. I would have said my second semester, that departmental store design. Yeah. But then one boy, I would say that was the best because of I learned a lot of things. Like I realized that was like the eye opener for me. Yeah. But then I was saying my hospital design because damn, I ate that shit. Like I enjoyed it. It was just everything was just flowing. I was like, although like there were times it was bad because hospital I had to do a lot of reading. Like the thing brought out the whole research everything in me. I had to bend down and read. I went to the library. I opened books. But then I mean the outcome was actually nice. The first thing that always comes to my mind when somebody asks me this question is inking, tracing paper, that whole thing. Come on now, I know it's not again. I mean, like during that time, like this election, it's to say when I think third year, second semester, we had this 3 weeks election break. If say that break never existed, God knows that during my internship I will not know nothing. I don't even think any firm will allow me to work for them because all I knew was just my pencil and get. The inking thing is just that the ink is expensive, the pen is expensive, the paper is expensive. Can't use any other medium. That particular material and instrument, that ink pen, and I think the reason I read that the reason why they taught that in school was because that is the only way to preserve your drawings when you're done. My own journey was a bit different. My own journey through architecture school was a bit different. I was loving it. I'm sorry, but yeah, I was loving it. So I cannot tell you should not study it. Study it is sweet if you like it. But then I feel like if you're a bit skeptical about the decision whether you want to or not, it might take time, but I feel like you should just go ahead and try and allow it to pass through you, and then you know if it's something that you can do or it's something you cannot do. I mean, it's difficult. It is very difficult, but going through the difficult times and coming out of it successfully is what makes it worth a while. Yeah. So but every other thing aside, studying architecture, I've learned a lot of things about life studying architecture. I mean, you tend to see a lot of things in a very, very, very different perspective if you study architecture. I'm not lying. I can't explain what that thing is. But the way I think now and before is very different. Very, very different. Design process. I don't learn anything about design process in my school. I'm sorry. But I think maybe the reason because of that thing was because of the whole strike stuff. They were trying to rush us and just get done with us. But design process, my eye opener to design process was climatology. Course I did in, I think, fourth year, first semester. Yes, like when I understood everything about design process. So I'm a lover of site analysis, the whole site thing and everything inside about your design. So my process starts with research first. I dig research a lot. And because of, I think after research the research goes together with the site stuff, because when I finish going through the brief, I'll go and look at the site and be like, okay, what's going on? Then that's just kind of like inventory. Then I go back, go to research, check things around, just back and forth like that, site research. And then at some point, I think at a point when I fully understand what I'm asked to design, I'm like, okay, what problem do I want to solve? I'm like, okay, from what I read, this is this. Okay, I'll use my past design for example. So it's a general hospital design. So from what I read, they complained, the people that did research on hospital complained about what was this stuff? I think they complained about the spatial arrangement of spaces in the hospital. They were like that we all concentrate in creating, providing a building for sick people to stay without designing it to be able to cure the sick people. In the sense that, like, psychologically, the way we experience spaces helps to, I don't know, according to them, they said it can help with your recovery process. So I was like, okay. Then I went through, they talked about having long corridors, a lot of things, but all those things I brought out, I was like, okay, I like these things to talk about, and it's true, I've experienced it. During the finding the problem, I also went for physical case studies, because all my experience about a hospital was not so strong. So while I went for the physical case study, I was like, okay, what this guy is saying is true about the long corridor stuff, the ventilation. I was like, okay, what this guy is saying is true. Like, I like it, I'm going to put in my design, that kind of stuff. So when I finished bringing together everything I wanted to be in my design, then I'm like, okay, what is this called? What is it about in architecture? How does it relate to architecture? And that is where AI comes in. So thank you, ChatGPT. There's this audio feature that they have, so I just keep it on while I'm researching, because like I always have questions. I ask too much questions, and then I'm like, what's this? I'm trying to put this and this, and then he gives me answers. I bring it out, and then everything I've gotten from the research, the physical, everything, the AI, everything, I bring it together and I come up with my concepts. Then from the concept, I don't know, for me, concept is everything in my design. When I now get the concept, it guides my way throughout everything. If I get lost, I go back to it and be like, okay, it's about this, okay, use this process and solve it out. Solve it. That's how I go through it.